Hey everybody, it's Steve, and I'm here today to talk to you about the updates that are going live today in Splinterlands. Now, I've talked about these in the past, but I wanted to give you a brand new update, and we finally found out what the new focuses are so that I can go over those with you and give you a few hints and tricks about how to do those focuses. Obviously, we're entering a new age of Splinterlands where things are going to be a little bit different than they were when they did the last update. We have 2-day rentals now, and I know that can feel a little bit bad, but they're fixing kind of an exploit. Let's face it, when they were having you do only splinter focuses, so you'd get the fire focus, you'd rent your fire cards after 12 hours after it started, you'd get your chest, you'd re-roll your quest, you'd try to get fire again because, hey, why not let those rentals do 2 days worth of questing for me? And that was awesome for you. But remember, when something is awesome for you in the game, it's awesome for the bots, and the bots learn how to exploit that every single time. And only some of you were maybe able to learn that little trick to do the quest 2 days with one set of rentals, and that just was not good for the overall economy. Let's face it, the rental market is really cheap. It still won't probably hurt you that much to have to rent cards right now if you have to rent them for 2 days, and the new focuses are not always going to be splinter specific, so cards that you rent that are good, strong cards that help you win matches will now be preferred, because in my mind, you're going to want to make sure you can win every match, because every match can give you points towards your daily focus going forward. And if it's a good card with a good ability, then those ones can be used sometimes in the multiple different kinds of teams that would help you win regardless on the focus that you're in. And we'll get into that when we go over those. So again, just to reiterate, they did the new ranked rewards post a few days ago. The changes that were coming for this week of the 18th, which is going live today, is the new focuses coming into place and the new mechanic where it's no longer an all or nothing system. So that's right. So every single game you play, when you win, you not only get points for your season chest, you'll get points for your daily quest. But if you use cards that are in your focus, then you're going to have a bonus for your amount of points that go to your daily. A quick little trick on that one: if you have the Dragon Splinter focus, if you use not if you have the Dragon Splinter focus, if you have one of the team focuses going forward in the new system, because it's a card-based bonus, you can use the Dragon team with that team and still get bonus points. So let's say you ended up getting an Earth focus. You can go ahead and play a Dragon card teamed up with the Earth team, and every Earth card that you fit into that team would still give you a bonus for the win. That's a little kind of bonus for the Dragon team in general to make them, those summoners, maybe a little more desirable, because they can now play and be used on any of the focuses that are team focused. We'll get into the new focuses in just a moment. I'm just kind of doing a quick little recap here. And also because your focus for your splinters are no longer guaranteed to be active. That means if you get a fire one, sometimes when you go to play a game, the fire team won't even be available. So you're going to have to be a little bit more diverse, ready to play other teams. And the real goal in my mind now is just be ready to make the best team to win every single match. And if it happens to fit into your focus, cool. If you can tweak it a tiny bit to make it so it does get some bonuses in points, maybe you'll do that. We'll have to see what's going on. And again, that 2-day rental is coming in to really just kind of make it so that the rentals can't be exploited as much across, just in general. The game is just fixing that so that you can't just be moving your cards around. You can't be doing crazy things with them, and you have to rent them for a little bit longer. And we should start to see merits come in chests. Now, as a guild member, I'm happy for that. And I'm also supposed to start seeing more potions when I open up my chest on my champion level account now. So these things are all good for me. I like them all, but I understand if you don't like everything. The replacing DEC with SBS is coming out later. They did put out another post this morning reminding you about the change to the ECR formula. Remember, do not let yourself go down below 50% or you're going to end up wasting your ECR. So if you get down to around 40 or 55 or 52%, it's time to just take a break, go watch some YouTube videos like mine, or do something else, hang out on the Twitch channel, earn some channel points so you can take part in the giveaways and stuff that go on over there, or just take a break for a little while, then come back to the game and start playing again. Now let's get into the new abilities. As you can see, Bulldog put this out yesterday in the morning, and somehow I missed it. So, oh well, I would have done the video sooner if I would have caught it, but I kind of missed it. I went ahead and made a bigger picture here for us to look at so we can go over these. And there is 14 new abilities, so these will be combined with already the 6 abilities for the 6 splinters to make a total of 20. No changes to the other ones except for that little tip I gave you about the Dragon Summoner being able to combo with a team that you have a focus for, and then letting you go ahead and get a few little bonus points for that win. So we have an anti-magic rule set. So this is where magic attacks are lethal from anywhere they're kind of going. They can cut through armor, and they can even kill the swiftest targets because normally magic can't miss. But Void Phase and Void Armor will dampen their effects. So if you use Void Pulse or Void Armor, then you're going to be able to get a bonus on your characters. One thing that we haven't kind of ferreted out yet, and we don't know for sure, so we'll have to do testing or see if we can get the team to give us an answer, and then I'll put a comment that updates this. Do summoners abilities that provide these things to monsters count for the bonuses? Like here, do I have to use a monster with Void Armor, or can I use Grandmaster Wraith and then everyone has a 1 Void Armor, so I get a bonus for every single card? You'll see there's a couple other rule sets where this would come into play, so we have to find out if the summoner effect or if it's the card effect that matters for getting the extra points. They also have a reflect rule set, so this is obviously for when you're going to be using things like backfire, return fire, or magic reflect. Now obviously in Wild, Lord A is really good at this, Cornelius is really good at this, the shield bearer can bounce back archery damage, so all of these things are pretty good. So definitely, as you can see, these abilities are going to be ones that you would use in certain rule sets anyways, or certain teams that you might like to build. We have Stealth, which is obviously one that we all kind of saw coming, and they kind of teased anyways, but it's using either Sneak, Snipe, or Opportunity to fight your teams. That's really cool because if you get this one, think about it. So Opportunity teams, Sneak teams, and Snipe teams are usually 3 separate teams. You don't usually intermingle them. So they're giving you, the Life team Sneak, the Kalia team Sneak, the Green team Snipers. White has a pretty good sniper team, so you're really not honed in on any one team, which is really what we wanted to see from this, because the season chests are rewarded for winning, and we wanted to not be so like, hey, I have to use this team, because the other people could see that we were on those focuses. We got anti-melee, and you're going to be securing yourself. It lets you, in this one, you're going to be using abilities like Thorns and Retaliate. So that makes kind of sense. If you're running into a team that has a lot of melee monsters coming after you, you usually like to use Thorns. Again, the question becomes, does Mylor work for this rule set and give all of your people Thorns? Or you use monsters with Retaliate. I know in Super Sneak, sometimes I like to put a big beefy tank in the last position with Retaliate, hoping that he'll be able to bounce back. I also combo that with Mylor usually, so he has Thorns and Retaliate, and then do I get a double bonus? This is all some of the questions we're going to have going forward, and I imagine we'll get answers to pretty soon, and I'll do an update when I do. The buffs is kind of moves that buff your team. I think everyone knows what most of those would be. Swiftness, Inspire, Protect, which gives everyone armor, Strengthen, which gives everyone more life. I think those are things that we already like to use, so I imagine everyone will be fine with getting that focus. Defend, this is going to be using shields or repairs to weather damage. So again, there's the Lorna Shine. So does her ability of shield for the whole team work for everyone? Repairing is pretty cool. So let me see. Defend. Sturdy shield, tough hide, or trusty armor. Use shield or repair to weather the storm and see yours through victory. So they only mention shield and repair. They don't mention armor, so that's kind of an interesting one. So this one isn't really armor, it's just shield and repair. Flying, I think this one's pretty obvious. It's just, do you fly? And the question is, does Brighten Bloom give those bonuses? And if somebody has seen these answers, feel free to leave a comment and I'll pin it up. Now we got disable, so this one is going to be using the stun or piercing abilities. So it's kind of the ability to stop your person from the opponent from moving with stuns, or the idea that, hey, you put some armor on, but it doesn't matter because I use the monster with piercing attack that just goes right through that. We got exploits. This is kind of interesting. So this is the practice of using a press, giant kill, or death blow, or knockout to multiply your damage. So basically this is kind of using those double damage moves in the game at the right time. You use oppress and you end up going against a cube or a Lord A and you just destroy him with your oppress attacks. It comes in really clutch. So it's one of those things that if you pull off that right team to kind of dominate the other one, like giant killers against somebody who's going to play a lot of people, death blow against somebody playing a cube deck and it gets down to just a cube or just a llama, and all of a sudden you're just smashing them with giant death blows because they decided to play a deck with only one monster. These kind of things will give you the extra points on this one. This one is probably one of the harder ones to do, so I think some people might quit that one and pick a different one. So far, that's probably the hardest one I've seen. We've got fatalities. This one is going to be using things like Bloodlust, Life Leech, Redemption, and Scavenger. It's kind of interesting because Bloodlust, Life Leech, Redemption, and Scavenger are kind of things that make you not die, but they have to do with blood. I don't know if fatalities was the right name for this one, but in general, still, I think a lot of us like using characters with Life Leech. Redemption can be very important. Dr. Blight has Scavenger, and Scavenger is like one of the one stronger abilities on quite a lot of cards. So this one I think isn't hard to play. Interesting name for all these abilities that kind of keep your character from dying, I guess because they kill the other team. We have healing. This one kind of makes sense. It's going to be using either tank heal, self heals, cleanse, or triages. I think this one will be a popular one because everybody likes to play the healing cards when they have them. You also have the element to overwhelm them. This is going to be using things like poison and affliction to weaken other characters. So that's kind of an interesting combo. Again, Waka could be pretty powerful here on this one, as long as the poison to every team member does actually work. We have Impair, which is going to be using things like Demoralize, Silence, Headwinds, or Blind to impair cards. I know the Death team has a really good debuff team, but so do a couple of the other cards out there. And then we have Nullify. Nullify is going to be able to use Shatter, Cripple, or Dispel on the battlefield to help obliterate the other team. I think Shatter is going to be a lot more powerful and used more often as Grandmaster Wraith gets played in a little bit more, because I've used him a couple times in some challenges, and it's just ridiculous what he can do with Shield Bearer, a combo I think all of us saw coming. So hopefully this helps you out a little bit. I know it wasn't the quickest video, but we did have to go over 14 new abilities. I'm going to leave it there for now. Go ahead, leave me questions and what you'd like to see more. And after I've figured out a little bit more of how this works, we'll do a follow-up video about the new daily focuses, and we'll maybe do a series where we focus just on 1 or 2 or 3 of them and talk about the cards that you can use to try to really get the most out of your battles during that time. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you later.